And getting in some details of the Congress Party's demands ahead of the seat-sharing talks of the I.N.D.I.A alliance, the INDI alliance, hearing that the Congress Party has put forward its proposal in front of the alliance partners. Some of the details that we're picking up. Congress demanding that it may want to contest up to 300 seats in the 2024 elections to be held in the next 5 months from now. Congress Party insisting that it may want to contest in over 300 seats. These are some details that we're picking up. Congress is jostling to contest anywhere between 250 to 300 according to sources in the Congress Party, adding that top-level Congress meeting expected this week to decide on the seat-sharing formula within the INDI alliance. In fact, most of the partners have already been asking for talks to take place so that they can get down to campaigning. And in fact, we're getting in more details that Congress is demanding a lion's share of the seats in the INDI alliance. And they claim internal dialogue on the Congress bidding for up to 300 seats. Let me go across to Madhurima joining us with the details. Madhurima, Congress wants to go alone in a few states. Is that possible? Is that possible?
Well, Niranjan, it's going to be very difficult because the kind of number that the Congress is aspiring for is indeed very large. But what needs to be seen here is that specifically in the state of Bihar, it's a JDU-RJD bastion. If you talk about Punjab, it's an Aam Aadmi Party bastion. Down south, you have their regional players as well. And there are a couple of Hindi belt areas leaving Uttar Pradesh where, mind you, Niranjan, the Samajwadi Party is more, is performing better than in comparison to Congress or any other party. So leaving a couple of states where Congress could really say that it is their bastion and they could perform better than the regional players, it would be a very hard bargain for the Congress Party to crack, Niranjan.
And in fact, we're picking up more details that the Congress may want to go alone in multiple states. These are some more details that we're picking up. For example, in states like Bengal, Trinamool Congress already making it clear that they may want to contest alone, saying that India Alliance may want to look at all other states or the rest of the country, but in states like Bengal, for example, Trinamool Congress says it will want to go alone. So likewise, some details we're picking up that the Congress may want to go alone in some of these states, according to the details that we're picking up. And the Congress demanding up to 300 seats, and not sure whether that has been finalized, but that's on the table. When are we expecting these talks to get finalized, Madhurima? Do we have a timeline? Because some parties have been asking for the seat-sharing talks to be completed so that they can get down to campaigning.
Well, Niranjan, the talks need to be finalized by the end of January, because remember, the regional parties are very unhappy with the Congress Party because of the fact that Congress Party laid all the India Alliance work at bay because of the assembly elections in the 5 states, and they want that the seat sharing should be finalized as soon as possible so that they can even chalk out joint rally schedule if at all senior leaders of the Congress Party will be addressing multiple rallies across the states. They need to start assigning candidates to those specific states where the competition is going to be tough. So the regional players are pressing upon the Congress, but the Congress is playing hardball at this particular moment where, like you very rightly pointed out, that they would want to contest on multiple seats alone, Niranjan. So the regional players are asserting that in next 15 to 20 days the seat sharing should be finalized. The Congress Party is still playing hardball, asserting that they would want 290 seats on their own to contest in the upcoming elections. Niranjan.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs. Madhurima joining us with the details of the India Alliance seat sharing as it hopes to close the final round of talks that are pending. In fact, there is no clarity within the India Alliance of who will contest how many seats, but the Congress playing hardball as of now, asking to contest in up to 300 seats and wanting to go alone in several big states as well. Moving on now, and let's get you the big global headline. In fact, everyone's watching the situation in Japan after an earthquake measuring 7.6 on the Richter scale hit Japan and two of the prefectures. Getting you details, this is north central Japan, where the 7.6 magnitude earthquake was recorded earlier today. And the Japan Met Agency also issued a tsunami warning along with coastal regions of Ishikawa, Niigata and Toyama prefectures after a series of strong quakes shook western areas. And there are several videos that have also surfaced showing buildings collapsing during the strong earthquake, especially in Ishikawa prefecture in Japan. And one such video that's come in showing a building collapsing during a strong earthquake in Ishikawa prefecture. Getting in more details of Hokuriku Electric Power, one of the agencies there, saying that it's checking for any irregularities at its nuclear power plants. Japanese public broadcaster NHK TV also talking about the different precautions being taken, especially in the nuclear power plants. Given what happened a decade ago, the Japan Met Agency reported a quake hitting Ishikawa and nearby prefectures, one of them measuring a preliminary magnitude of 7.4 to 7.6. And what we know so far is that NHK TV warned of torrents of water could reach as high as 5 meters and urged people to flee to highland or a rooftop of buildings nearby as quickly as possible. These are some more details that we're picking up. Waves more than 1 meter high hit the coast of Wajima city in Ishikawa prefecture, according to some of the details that we're picking up. And also, South Korea's Met Agency saying that sea levels may rise on parts of the east coast after the 7.6 magnitude earthquake in Japan, adding that all residents would have to evacuate immediately to higher ground. These are some details that were broadcast by Japan's NHK earlier this morning when the quake was first reported. A spokesperson for some of the nuclear power plants saying that there were currently no abnormalities at some of the plants, but the company was also monitoring the situation very closely, and that all high-speed trains stopped in one of the cities there after the powerful earthquakes hit western Japan. Now, these are some of the reports that we're picking up from Japan, hoping to get more details in a short while from now. Let's show you some of the pictures that have been coming in earlier today from different parts of Japan. These are some more details that we have of the earthquake. One of the biggest takeaways from the earthquake that hit Japan about 1 decade ago was the impact that the nuclear power plants and the damage that some of them had to face, which took years and years to rectify and to deal with. And after today's earthquake, once again, tsunami warnings have been triggered, and the Prime Minister in Japan has ordered an emergency disaster response. This is after the 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit western Japan, triggering immediate tsunami warnings. And at least two to three cities or prefectures are getting most of the warnings earlier this morning. The Japan Met Agency put the quake at 7.4, prompting immediate tsunami warnings in Ishikawa. Let me go across to Nupur Tiwari. Nupur Tiwari has been living in Japan for many years now, and she's joining us from Tokyo this evening here on Republic TV. Nupur, thank you for speaking to Republic. What is the situation there? How is the government looking at this earthquake and the different warnings that have been issued? What can you tell us of the situation on the ground?
Yeah, hello, good evening. This is the situation is here quite, I would say that the way it started, it's quite stable now. Definitely, you know, the January 1st, I hope you can see me a bit of dark. I'm walking on the road, and this is the New Year season. New Year is very much everybody stays at home. So very less light, less car, less people on the road. And the same thing, Ishikawa prefecture also, experiencing that the 1st January, most of the people, they were at the home, and situation. The moment the earthquake happened, most of the people were there home and they were celebrating their New Year. New Year starts from 31st and it goes on until 3rd, January 3rd. So situation here, definitely it's a shock, it's a disappointment that the New Year started like that. But right now the situation is quite in control because the local government is doing wonderful work with the evacuation, especially the elderly people. The local volunteers, local government, dedicated disaster management team, they are taking care of the all the people there. The Shinkansen bullet train, they stop. The people stuck. Not so many. Again, the good thing is that so many people are not traveling because of the New Year. They travel until 29th, 30th, 31st, until 3rd. Mostly they stay at home. New Year is again the celebrated Japan celebrates New Year very traditional way. They stay at home, they go to shrine, they pray, they eat their traditional food. It's a reunion time. It's a kind of Indian Diwali time here. That is the reason you can say that people are more disappointed. The time they wanted to have in their hometown, they're back to their hometown. They want to have gala time. They want to go to shrine. They want to pray. They start their New Year with the prayers at shrine. Those things are very much disturbed, and why it started. Why this year 2024 starting with that. But anyways, the Indian embassy also given the number, the emergency number, and the government in Tokyo, government of all those prefecture, they are doing wonderful work with the evacuation. When it comes to earthquake, Japan is already ready with all the tools, with all the dedicated disaster management team and local volunteers, local government, evacuation team, the Tsunami, the Ishikawa, Fukui, Fukuoka, Toyama, all those areas with the western coast, they're affected. But the Ishikawa, which is the epicenter of the 7.6 magnitude this earthquake, that is the 5-meter tsunami expecting. But before that, immediately the government is taking all the evacuation measure and taking everyone away from the tsunami area, where the tsunami can happen. And many people are stuck at the station because they were traveling. Again, as I said, that not so many people because it's a New Year, the New Year time, and people are mostly at home. They already travel. Maybe most of the people are tourists who are traveling. But Japan was not ready for it. Japan was not ready to spend their New Year, especially this Osogatsu. Osogatsu is New Year in Japan. The Osogatsu like this is a bit of negative energy. But as after living here, after being here 20 years, I can say Japan is ready to deal with all the situation like this. Any earthquake, any tsunami, they just, with all the positive energy, with all samurai spirit, they're ready to fight with that. So what happened that you cannot change, that you cannot stop, but how you tackle it, how you manage it, that is the way they do it, the Japanese. That is a lot we can learn from that. And with that same spirit, the local government, the government in Tokyo, they're working on that. And I'm sure that the nature when tsunami, we cannot stop, but we can save lives, which tsunami could have taken by the evacuation, by the right measure, taking the right steps and doing the right thing. So as you can see that here also behind me, the road is kind of empty. People are mostly at home, celebrating with their New Year with their loved ones. Very few cars, very few people are on the road. The supermarket mostly they're closed. Only the convenience store they're open. Supermarket closed until 2nd, 3rd. This is the convenience store. You can see few restaurants are open because this is the family time for Japanese, and during this time, this kind of disaster, this kind of unfortunate thing. Uh, Actually, nobody wants. Japan also doesn't want, especially the people in Ishikawa, where it happened, where the um, the epicenter is. In Tokyo, we personally, when it happened, it was we face earthquake almost every day, I would say. So we are kind of used to with it. So when it started, I thought maybe that's the same kind of earthquake. Maybe it is 5, 6, or close to 7. But it took
Yeah.
really long, to stop. So that time I realized, though, it is not the normal one. It's definitely going to, evacuation or the tsunami alert going to have. So yes, the tsunami alert. Otherwise, Japan, without tsunami, Japan is pretty ready to manage earthquake wherever it is. Doesn't matter. And a few houses, all those areas, few houses are a little bit fire. Few houses are old houses are broken. Definitely,
Okay.
they are.
Nupur, Nupur,
Those areas are quite western coast. And,
Nupur, I'm just
many old
interrupting you
houses
there
are
for just a second because we're getting in some breaking news now. I think I've lost the line there with Nupur Tiwari joining us live from Japan. Thank you, Nupur, for joining us live with all those inputs. She's taking us through the situation there and how people are responding to reports of the tsunami warning as well. Getting in some more breaking news now. Let's go across straight to get you the details. Ahead of the Ram Mandir inauguration, Asaduddin Owaisi of the AIMIM making a provocative comment, getting details of Owaisi's speech, attempting to incite ahead of the Ram Mandir inauguration. Owaisi asking the Muslim community to maintain strength. Owaisi saying that they need to keep the mosques prosperous and that they must ensure mosques are not taken away. Asking for the community to look at the bigger picture, saying that the Muslim community has lost masjid and that they are seeing what is being done here. Some provocative comments being made. Let's listen in.
ओ नौजवानों, ये जो ताकतें हैं ना तुम्हारे दिल से जब इत्तेहाद को निकालना चाहते हैं, क्यों निकालना चाहते हैं? मिली गीरत को खत्म कर दिया जाए, मिली हमियत को खत्म कर दिया जाए। बरसों की मेहनतों के बाद आज हमारा एक मुकाम हमने पैदा किया। तो ये आपको इन चीजों पर गौर करना है। अपनी मिली हमियत को, मिली अपनी ताकत को बरकरार रखिए। नौजवानों, मस्जिदों को आबाद रखो। कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि मस्जिदें हमसे छीन ली जाए। मेरे अजीज दोस्तों, याद रखो नौजवानों, ये जो ताकतें हैं ना तुम्हारे दिल से जब इत्तेहाद को निकालना चाहते हैं, क्यों निकालना चाहते हैं? मिली गीरत को खत्म कर दिया जाए, मिली हमियत को खत्म कर दिया जाए। बरसों की मेहनतों के बाद आज हमारा एक मुकाम हमने पैदा किया। तो ये आपको इन चीजों पर गौर करना है। अपनी मिली हमियत को, मिली अपनी ताकत को बरकरार रखिए। नौजवानों, मस्जिदों को आबाद रखो। कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि मस्जिदें हमसे छीन ली जाए।
Aniri, it's an issue settled by courts. Why is Owaisi trying to provoke the community, asking for them to keep the masjid in mind, etc.?
Well, Niranjan, what we are seeing that just ahead of the Ayodhya Ram Temple inauguration, now we are seeing AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi coming out in public and asking Muslims to stay and maintain strength among themselves and make sure they protect their mosques is what he is saying. Well, he also mentioned that we have already lost one of our masjids and now we cannot afford to lose anymore, and so we need to keep our mosques prosperous is what Asaduddin Owaisi has been appealing, and this comes just ahead of the Ayodhya Ram Temple inauguration, just few days ahead. Now we see that Asaduddin Owaisi makes an appeal to the people to ensure that mosques are prosperous and also asks Muslims to maintain strength among themselves and fight unitedly is what Asaduddin Owaisi is giving and making an appeal to the people, and a very important statement coming in at this point in time, because at this point in time we are seeing how there is a massive politics being taking place over the Ayodhya Ram temple, and now Asaduddin Owaisi also mentions about losing the Babri Masjid, and he also says that we have lost one mosque and we cannot afford to lose anymore, and that is the reason why we need to maintain strength among ourselves and keep our mosques prosperous.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs, Aneri. Thank you, Aneri, for joining us with those details.